Have you ever felt that your life just needed to be changed somehow? You had to make some serious changes in order to feel better, but you didn't know where to start, you had no clue where to go? Debra Darby has some solutions to that. I'm Chris Jones, and this is Debra Darby's story.
Deborah, what drove you to get into health coaching, health nutrition, that sort of thing? And what drives you every day? What gets you up in the morning to do this?
Well, it started 22 years ago. I was looking for a natural approach to help my son who has a health issue. It took me like 8 years before I found a company that represented the nutrition line that I would trust to give my own children. Over time, learning more about that company and their efficacy, I just fell in love with them and partnered with them. So they're my brand partner. The nutrition aspect, I wanted to share because we live in a society where anytime somebody doesn't feel good, they kind of take a pill.
Yeah.
What the pill they're taking is a prescription. Not that I have anything against Western medicine, but it's not always the answer. I believe that you have to get back to nature. You can enhance your life by making some small changes.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing those small changes, you're going to have a better, more productive, happier, healthier life. So I love, constantly enhancing people's lives. It just brings me great joy to help people and see how they feel at the end result of working with me.
Your passion is evident, and you can see it when you smile, when you talk, and that kind of thing, because you love what you do. Who is your brand partner?
Shaklee, they are in Pleasanton, California. That's Shaklee. Most
Yeah,
people call it Shaklee, but it's Shaklee.
exactly.
Um, they've been around for over 65 years. They have the best products that I have found to be clean, good products. And they have the proof to back it up. And I trust them immensely. So if somebody needs a vitamin D that I'm health coaching,
Mhm.
I'm going to recommend Shaklee because that's the only brand I would use and the only brand my family uses.
Would you agree that when most people think about healthcare, they're thinking about being cared for while they're sick, that sort of thing, or maybe just managing a current disease? Do most people think about it that way rather than preventative? They think of it as as it's going on. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that. And it's interesting because by the time some people come to me, they've already had that philosophy forever.
Mm-hmm.
They also think, well, I'm 65, I'm supposed to be slowing down. I'm
Yeah.
65, this is to be expected. And that is so not accurate. But they don't realize it, and it's not their fault. They've been fed that message in many ways. So I enjoy just helping them discover that with prevention, they can feel better and not have to, slow down or, basically give up at their late 60s or 70s. They don't have to. They can feel vibrant and as young as they want to feel. It's just a number, that age.
Oh, age? Oh, sure. I agree with that. It's a number.
Yeah.
65, 75, 85. In my previous life, I was selling cars. I had a 95-year-old gentleman come in with his son. He bought a car. I want to go driving. I mean, the guy was vibrant, smart, everything. I love seeing that sort of thing. So you promote that kind of enthusiasm and that
Yeah,
kind of health. Yeah.
absolutely.
One of the things that I'm reading about you and I've discovered about you from talking to you, it says here that you are about building better health and transitioning everyone you meet to move from sick care to well care and feel better all the time. So that's your main mission with Shaklee, and your whole mission in life sounds like, right?
Yes. Yes.
And it sounds like you firmly believe that we are not promised tomorrow, like you said in the beginning. You're not promised tomorrow. It's what we do today that matters, right?
Yeah.
So how does one become a member or get involved with you with regard to Shaklee? How does that work?
Well, they can call me. They can email me. I like to have a conversation with the person to try to identify what their needs are. I also offer a free 50-minute wellness evaluation with them. By doing that, we kind of have a conversation to figure out what's going to be the best thing for them, whether or not they need health coaching, whether or not they just need some vitamins and nutrition. And, I just support them on that road.
How long have you been doing this now again?
22 years.
Safe to say it's your life's work at this point.
Yeah. I used to be in the I worked for the state and I worked in the field of domestic violence.
Oh,
My business was quite on the side at that point. The more I learned about the company and everything for my kids and myself, I saw a lot of things in both arenas
hmm,
that empowering others, just like when I was a trainer in domestic violence, we're teaching people how to empower people that were coming to them that were in a vulnerable situation. And I carry that into my my business with health coaching and training other people to teach other people about, helping people, transform their lives so that they can also educate other people about nutrition. They don't have to be a health coach to join my team.
hmm.
I just want to help them spread the word and let other people make a decision what they're going to do with that information.
Okay.
But it's all about empowerment.
Yeah, it is. That's a great word, empowerment. What are some of the strategies with regard to, I guess, well care as opposed to sick care, with regards to how much fluid you should drink during the day, what kind of what you should have during the day, how much water, and does meditation play a role, and that sort of thing? Is there some guidelines you could pass on to the viewers there?
Oh, sure. In regards to water, you want to make sure whatever your body weight is, say you weighed 100 pounds, half of that would be 50 ounces of water.
Hmm.
So ounces of water, half your weight.
Okay.
That's easy. The other part, I think meditation and exercise are key. You want to have some time to be quiet and just be present. So whether it's taking a walk or whether it's just sitting quietly by yourself, I definitely think you should get exercise every day. And I think that you need the quiet time every day. So if you meditate and walk, 2 for 1, right?
Yes, I guess so. I guess
But it
so.
gives you a chance to let the stress of the world go away, especially right now.
Yes.
So many people have a lot on their plate.
Yes, they do, especially coming in as we're recording this into the holiday season as well.
Yeah.
The point you touched on earlier was with regard to sick care. People think, they have to worry about it when they're sick. And you get a symptom, you take a pill. Basically, to use that term mask, which is overused now these days, but mask the symptoms. And that's what people like to do. What would you say? What would be the first initial kind of a conversation you'd have with somebody that you're discovering that this person is actually doing that, but they have a desire to change? What strategies would you suggest to them on a first call, or do you do that?
Well, on that 50-minute health assessment, we're
Yeah.
looking at what their day looks like, what their week looks like,
Hmm.
how they're getting basic nutrition, what's in their pantry, trying to find things that they can make small steps because we're talking about behavior change. Now, instead of waiting till you get a headache to take a pill,
Hmm.
you want to make sure you don't get the headache to begin with, right? So
That's
you have
true.
to have plenty of water so you're not dehydrated. And we
Hmm.
just look at all the aspects of what's going on for them, what their goal is, and then we put some things in place. Like we said before, water, drinking water, get enough water in, exercise, some quiet time for yourself, as hard as that is now with so many people stuck at home. But we just look at all the areas of their life and what areas of their life is very unique to them.
Hmm.
So we want to fine tune what's going to be best for them. But one of the biggest things is to build their immune system, especially now.
Okay. Tell me
Strength.
about Shaklee itself, the founder. I'm not totally familiar with it. So for somebody who's never heard of it, which I guess there could be some people that haven't, tell us about Shaklee, how it was founded and the science behind all that, if you can.
Sure. Dr. Forrest C. Shaklee started the company when he retired from chiropractic. He had used all natural products throughout his chiropractic practice.
Right.
And then when he looked at retiring, he was trying to find a way to still provide the nutrition that he was providing his patients. So he
Right.
went to his 2 sons and they started the company in San Francisco in
Hmm.
1956.
Okay.
So over that time period, Dr. Shaklee was very adamant that natural was to go the way to go, that listening to nature was the way to go. Let nature run it, and then it will work in our bodies, whatever the nutrition is, because we're built by nature, right?
Right.
So they have impeccable, if you look up Dr. Shaklee, There's actually a really wonderful video of him, his childhood, his building this company, and then wanting people that use the products to share the message as opposed to keeping it on store shelves where people didn't understand what's the difference between Dr. Shaklee's alfalfa and any other alfalfa or vitamin D or
Right.
any other vitamin D. Probably over 10 years ago, a wonderful man, Roger Barnett, bought the company
Right.
after doing, I don't know, millions of dollars worth of research to find out what would be a good company that he could have his children carry on as a legacy. He now runs the company and he has the same philosophy and integrity as Dr. Shaklee did. And I
Okay.
think that's pretty amazing because that doesn't come along all the time.
No. So before you picked the company, before you picked Shaklee, did you research a lot of other ones?
Yes, I researched for 8 years. When I started looking for a natural approach to my son's health issue, I came across a lot of other companies, but they
Right.
just didn't measure up.
Yeah.
And when I found this company, they did. And I saw that there's no negative, even back then, there wasn't a negative thing about the company that I could find. So I thought it was worth a shot, to try it. Since I was going through a divorce at the time, I needed to have a second stream of income, even though I was working full time. So I needed a financial second stream of income. And that's when I started to look at this as a business and to share the company's message and partner with them for using their products and sharing that with other people and building teams of people to do the same thing. One of my biggest passions in life is to be able to live life while you're here. And in my job, when I worked for the state, a lot of time is taken up working for someone else.
Oh, sure.
And so I really enjoy helping people change that. And for me, it's like I live life and my business works around it, which I think is really very nice because I retired in 2014, but I don't want to have to sit home. I want to live life and travel and go visit places and, do things across the country and the world. I don't want to have to stay in one place and go to a 9-to-5 job.
9 to 5 restricts your movements, restricts your soul, really.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you get paid well, still you come home from your job and basically it's a job. It's not fulfilling.
Yeah. You're working for someone else. You're building their dreams.
Yeah, you are. Even if it's the state of New York or some state, whatever state it is.
Yeah.
Or the owner of a company, whatever you're building. Yeah, you are. And you can only plateau so far. So when you run your own show, like such as you're doing, and I guess I'm doing it too. We're commute to the coffee pot if you want to, and or whatever. That's kind of what I do. So I love your passion for this.
Thank you.
Really kind of neat. We could go on and on. I think I'm going to have you on again to go maybe more in depth into some of the actual nutrition and the vitamins and all the substance of some of the Shaklee shakes and some of the other nutritional items that you get. But for now, I love the story. I want to ask you a couple of questions that aren't related to this. Tell us your favorite movie.
My favorite movie of all time is The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
When I was a little kid, my aunt had the only color TV, and we didn't know she had bought a color TV. It was black and white. And if you remember in The Wizard of Oz, it starts in black and white and goes to color.
Yes.
And I just can, every time I watch it, I remember sitting on the floor because we all went over there to watch her TV. And the first time the color came, I'll never forget that moment.
Wow.
It was just so amazing because I'd never seen it. When I was a little kid, we always watched a black and white whenever we went anywhere.
Yeah.
He had the first color TV.
That's awesome. I love that. If you were to have access to anybody throughout time, anybody that you knew, famous, it could be a relative or somebody non-famous, whatever, either way, who would you want to go back and meet and have a cup of coffee with or have a drink with or something?
Well, I would have loved to have met Dr. Forrest C. Shaklee because he saw during all the changes, when plastics were first coming out, all those things, he warned people against that. And I think it's amazing. He just knew things that, looking back, I'm like, how would he have known that? So I'd love to sit and have a cup of tea and just ask him questions about what made you think that? What made you decide that was what you wanted to do? And you wanted to help educate people not to do some of the things that we're doing right now.
2 great answers.
Yeah.
I love those answers.
Thank you.
Those are great. Debra Darby, and tell us about your website. What is it? What's your website? How do people?
It's debdarby.com. DEBDARBY.com.
Well, that's simple enough.
Yep.
Now that works. I've heard of something called The Life of Darby. Can you tell me what that is?
That's the name of my business
Okay.
because it is life. I love living life and I like to help other people live life. So it's the Life of Darby.
Well, the passion is evident for sure.
Thank you.
I'm going to leave you with this. Live long and prosper. And we will talk again soon. Thank you very much, Deb. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.